Hello everyone, today I want to talk about the Legend of Zelda series. There isn't really a main point or idea to this video. I mostly just want to talk about Zelda in general. I'll probably just bring up every game ever and just my random thoughts about it. I'll just probably provide like a basic analysis of any game I'm thinking of right now. This is kind of just a casual conversation. I don't want to do any like specific, like overly formal things. I mostly just want to have a little chat just to discuss my love of Zelda and the history of the series and what I think about it and where I expect it to go and just things like that. I'll talk about Zelda 1. Zelda 1's pretty good. I have it on the NES and it's honestly it's a great experience. First off, it's really hard. Like a lot of people like really underestimate. Like I don't really hear people talking about its difficulty, but like it's a very difficult game. Like if you don't know what you're doing, you will get lost. You will almost not be able to complete it. Like Aonuma, like one of the producers for the later games, he said he couldn't even get through Zelda 1, and like yeah, I'm in the same boat as you, buddy. Like I don't think I've ever beat it without a guide. I used to draw out the maps of every tile I would go on, or every part of the map that I would go on. I would literally draw it out on a piece of paper. So like I basically had my own little map. And it still didn't help. Like there were still times where I straight up got lost, or like I went to like the Lost Woods or something and just accidentally messed up. And there are just so many like dead ends or just places where you feel like you can go and then you just I ran out of bombs. Oops, or like something like that. Or I didn't have enough small keys for this dungeon, and then you just have to backtrack back to like a shop or something. And I like the way small keys are used here. Like at least you can buy them. I've always loved that. Like I'd rather have a game that has more keys than doors, and you just have to like buy them or even leave the dungeon to buy them, than end up in a situation where like Twilight Princess, where you just have to use a small key and like in this room. Like I remember my face when I got a small key. It's like, here's a small key. Too bad you can only use it in this room. Like so what? Like what? So each room is now its own like mini puzzle. Do you know how annoying that is? Like I like the N64 games where where the whole puzzle is like, where the whole dungeon is a puzzle, where the entire space is used as one whole collective puzzle, rather than these each room is a challenge things that like the GameCube games do a lot of. So anyway, I really enjoyed Zelda 1. I like in dungeons where like the perspective changes, like when you go to grab an item, when you go down the ladder to like grab an item or whatever. I like stuff like that. I love the perspective shifts. I love that they were using like certain angles and specific cinematic things. Even back in the 80s, before they even had a template for what a video game could be. I like the Star Wars the Star Wars intro where like the text is floating up. they spelled Ganon's name wrong in the I think it's in the English version, but you know, I miss English. You know, we don't get a lot of that anymore now that like localization and translation's good. But like back when I was a kid, like almost everything made had this like a horrible like translation attached to it, and like there was an art to that. Like I miss that, and people try to do it on purpose now. It doesn't have the same ring. It doesn't have the same charm that old like actual like failed English used to have. And failed English is too strong. I shouldn't use that terminology, but yeah, I do love and miss English. So yeah. You know, the next game I want to talk about is Zelda 2. You know, fun fact, Zelda 2 actually used to be my favorite Zelda game. I did not know about the hate back then because, you know, obviously I was a kid. And I loved Zelda 2. I loved it more than any other Zelda game I played. And I feel like I only stopped liking it because of like the pressure of everyone else hating it. they call it like they called it the black sheep of Zelda because it was like a 2D side scroller, like, and it had gameplay elements similar to like a Metroidvania, and Metroidvanias are like Metroid plus Castlevania. You basically like hop around a dungeon and stuff. It's a 2D side scroller. It's there, like Zelda 2. I'm gonna say it is probably more enjoyable than Zelda 1. I think the game's more streamlined. It's a lot harder to get lost. You'll always know where you have to go next. The only place in time that actually stumped me was the final dungeon, the Great Palace, and also the new Kasuto. Like I didn't know you could destroy forest tiles with a hammer. Like I just the logic there just wasn't just like I just can't imagine you get a hammer item and then you could now break forest tiles in the overworld. I wish someone brought that up. So yeah, aside from those two things, like the whole game's beatable. You could beat it in like a day. I've beaten it in a day once, and that was a really fun accomplishment. And well, I did it as a kid, and that was like a very great accomplishment for me. So yeah, I love Zelda 2. And people say like Death Mountain's incredibly hard, but it's not. Like I remember beating it when I used to the first time I did it, I was like so lazy to go through the maze that I'm like, I'm just gonna keep going right, and then I ended up getting through the maze anyway. So, so maybe I just got lucky playing this game, but like I just found it like incredibly fun. I enjoyed every second of playing it. I liked the level up system. Like I felt myself generally getting stronger, and yeah. So and one cool thing, you could also see the original Zelda 1 overworld in Zelda 2. Like there's actually an area in like the bottom left corner of like the map where like, oh, if you just look closely, that's the Zelda 1 map. So you just realize like you were just playing in like a small area of the first game, which really helps the lore and adds more explanations to the game. So I really enjoyed that. And I really enjoyed what they did with the story as well. It's like a Sleeping Beauty narrative. So the first game was like a typical monomyth, like hero defeats like the devil, hero defeats the dragon, and liberates the land. This is this kind of a similar story. It's more of like an awakening story. You have to like basically rescue the princess, but in a different way. You have to wake her up, and breaking a curse. So it's like a Sleeping Beauty, break the curse type of story, and. It's a story about purification. You're purifying the land, so it's interesting. You're not really fighting through like evil lairs to get peace. Well, okay. Newer Zelda games have you like fighting through like a corrupted or cursed place, but most of the early Zelda games just have you going into like an ancient temple to do something like the gods set up for you, or like the ancient ones set up for you. So these are more like test of your like courage and your mettle than you destroying evil and like healing the world, which is the theme in a lot of the other Zelda games, especially the N64 games, where there's an element of you healing the world, which ties back into like the Jewish mystical idea of Tikkun Olam, where you're just slowly purifying the world through your actions, and also just humanitarianism in general and relieving areas of like a cursed state. So, Zelda has a lot of elements of like basically any monomyth. You can basically insert any monomyth into the games, and it'll fit. So, I like to compare the games to Christianity, and Link even had a Bible in the original Zelda, so that was pretty cool. They renamed it to Book of Medora, but oh well, in the English version. And then one thing, I have like multiple versions of Zelda 2. I have it on the NES. I have it on the GameCube Collector's Edition. I even have a version for the Game Boy Advance, and I'm not sure which one's my favorite. I can't really it's hard to really, like, they're kind of the same game, and the N64, the NES version has a very strong like seizure flash when you die that is very very distracting. Like I always have to look away from my TV when it happens. Like it literally just lights up the whole room and like this flashing, this alternatively flashing light. It's not fun. It's not a fun experience, and I can see why they removed it. So yeah, all in all, Zelda 2 is great. I feel sad because like as I got older, I learned how much hatred it got, and it made me a bit insecure about liking it. But now that I'm older, like I'm totally back into Zelda 2 train. I still love it. It's still one of my favorite Zeldas. I think a lot of the hatred it gets are just bandwagoners, and a lot of people are just genuinely lying. I think people play it once knowing the stereotype, have their biases filled, and then they're like, okay, I filled my Zelda initiation. I hate the game everyone else hates. And I think people should just maybe try to be a bit open-minded next time they play the game. There's a lot of cool things you can see. And even the problems in the game aren't even that bad. Like, really, the worst thing in the game are the bottomless pits because they're cheap. And they take a life. If you just remove the life system from the game would probably be significantly better. If you just died and returned to, like, the dungeon after you died, then that would probably just solve that. Game over. The Return of Ganon, and he just has like the weirdest shape. So yeah, next we get to A Link to the Past. You know, I'm like I this game is fun, but like I always tire out by like the last like 3 dungeons. I just like completely lose interest in the game. Like I think I feel like I've only beat it about twice because I like every time I get to like those last like 3 or 4 dungeons, like I just tire out. This game is a bit too long. It sets the formula for almost every Zelda game that comes after it, and it creates like the initial lore for the games. So, like the golden goddesses are first introduced in this game, and there's just a lot more added to the lore of this game. This is definitely a lore game, which is okay. Lore is fine if it's in service to the story, and you know it works for what it is. And it's funny because what's it called? Like I like Zelda lore. Like so Zelda I feel like has 3 different like eras of lore. So like the first like 3 or 4 games, like there was definitely like a King Arthur like Camelot vibe to these games. Like if you look at like the comics and the cartoon, there was definitely this idea that like this was like a Middle Ages world, and it was way more traditionally fantasy. I like this incarnation of Hyrule and the world. Like there was this fan fiction site that I used to go on a lot called North Castle. I think it was run by 2 sisters, and like I used to read that all the time when I was younger. And they wrote like a ton of fan fiction, had basically their own like little wiki world, and I used to read it all the time. And I think it's defunct. Yeah, like I think it's shut down now. I went on the website like almost like a decade back, and like I think it was abandoned. Like I went on the forum and it was like it just linked me to like some random hentai site. So I'm like, okay, so they stopped taking care of this site. They've completely abandoned it. But you know, I do miss the days of reading Zelda fan fiction, which I used to do all the time, and there was so much other cool stuff too. There was that Hylian language on Kasuto, and oh man, I'm really showing my age here. But yeah, there was just so much interesting Zelda stuff back then, and you just really had to be there to see it. So yeah, the next game, I can still talk about Link to the Past. I do like I like the dialogue in this game. I know it's kind of weird to say, but like I just find this game has the most calming and interesting NPC interactions that I've had playing a Zelda game. It is just nice to walk up to characters and talk. Like the way the game works and plays is so smooth. Like there's a smoothness to everything in this game, and like the animations are just so superb. The way the SNES captures like movement for like the player and like button input is really good for especially for like the 90s. So I do love A Link to the Past. The dungeons in this game are definitely not really my favorite. Not for any like specific reason. I do like Misery Mire, but there's just not. I don't know. There's just too much. There's just too much in this game. Like there's just so much. it almost has like the same exact like density as like a 3D Zelda game. It's funny because Ocarina of Time is basically just a remix version of this game. It has the same story beats, the same kind of plot progression, and a very similar plot. So it's kind of funny that both games kind of just do the same thing twice. Like we have the Link in Hyrule game, and then the sequel where he goes off to some foreign land and does a bunch of odd dream stuff. And like Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask are like the same thing. It's like they just remade the same 2 games like twice. So it's funny. And I'll talk about Link's Awakening. And Link's Awakening is it's a fun game. It was a fantastic game. I remember I've only played the original version. I've never played the DX version, so I've always played the black and white one without color. So it's never really been my like absolute favorite game because I just it's such a playing a Zelda game on like a crappy like black and white Game Boy is just not a fun experience. So like Link's Awakening was never that much of my favorite game. So maybe if I played it on the DX version, I might like it a bit more. The game's just super linear. I just always feel like I'm being led from one place to another, and like sometimes things just aren't explained at all, and like a lot of stuff on the map kind of just blends together. And I think people are more in love with the game's story than actually like playing the game, because even I found the story a lot more like enjoyable and fun than the actual gameplay. I loved all the Mario references, and I really loved the fact that it just doesn't take place in Hyrule. Like, my favorite Zelda games are the ones that don't directly take place in Hyrule anyway. I think it's just such an overused setting, and like we get it. Link fights Ganon. It's like we understand. Like Link can do other things. Like I wish the games had more of an like an interesting lore, if that makes sense. Like I mean, a more I don't know, like more differences between them actually. Like I wish we didn't have the same recognizable Link. I wish it was like different people. I really wish it was more like the Bible, actually, because if you look at the Bible's kind of similar. It's like a bunch of different stories about people going on like kind of rhyming adventures, and like it's different people each time. And I just wish the Zelda series had more of that. Zelda's a bit too married to the status quo, and I wish they would abandon it more in favor of like more interesting stories, telling a full history of this country. And like, why is the history of this country always involving like the same three people? Like, yeah, they're reborn, but like he's still called Link. He still looks generally the same. So it's like he might as well just be the same character. Like, I just wish there was more of a difference between his incarnations, and more of a difference between just the things that went on in the game. So yeah, next we have Ocarina of Time, the second coming, the greatest game ever. That people love this game so much. It was definitely one of my earliest games that I played, and man, I have so many fond memories of Ocarina of Time. It is without a doubt one of the greatest games I have ever played, and I'm not just saying that. Like, the gameplay's great, the story's fantastic. What they were able to do with N64 technology, even at the time, is incredible. And like people try to hate on it now and kind of talk shit, like that guy like Egoraptor, and like it's like it doesn't even it doesn't even make any sense. Like it's the first that whole video was just rage bait. But yeah, Ocarina of Time is obviously a fantastic game. The story, the small little details hidden here and there. My favorite temple, I'm gonna say it, but my favorite temple is actually the Shadow Temple. Everyone hates it for being linear. It's like it's the one dungeon in the game that's completely linear. Like, you're just led on a complete path from one way to another. But like, I don't mind it because, one, it broke up the monotony of the other temples. Having one linear temple is fine. Like in a game with like what was it, like 10 or 12 of them? So like having one linear temple is fine, but it also was kind of trying to tell a story. If you look carefully, like the environment and the objects and just what was going on, it was clearly full of interesting set pieces, and it was clearly telling a lot of environmental storytelling. And it has like one of my favorite items in the game, the hover boots, mostly because they just look aesthetically good. So I guess the Shadow Temple is just very aesthetically pleasing. And yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of the Water Temple. I'm gonna be a bit stereotypical there too. I don't really like it all that much, but like it's not awful. And most is just like really tedious. And Lake Hylia is one of my favorite locations in the game. I love fishing. Fishing's so much fun. What else is there? And I love the first act of the game, like getting out of Kokiri Forest and then going to Hyrule Castle is definitely one of my fondest memories. Like waking Talon up with the cuckoo is so funny. There's just so many interesting things that happened in the game, so many fun references, things that happened and going ons. I also have memories of playing these games in college as well with my roommates, so that was also a great experience as well. So, overall the game's great. The final battle is a bit, I guess one annoying thing is like if you run out of magic during that final fight with Ganon, like it just never appears again with Ganondorf. Like, so like if you don't have enough magic for light arrows, then you're kind of screwed. So that was an oversight that I don't like. And I had the Japanese version of the game, so I have the one with Ganondorf's coughing up blood after getting annihilated in that battle. So, like, why did the English version change it to green? Like, I find that makes it grosser. Like, I would rather just have him cough up blood there than like whatever green thing that is. I don't know. Back then, the censorship was just so bad, and it was always so stupid because like we got the softer, lamer version, in the West, but everything was still stylized to be more edgy, like you know the meme like American Kirby's hardcore, because like Kirby always has like an angry frown on his face in the American releases, and like there's no point of that. There's no reason for that, and all the Zelda box art suffered for it. They always had this like really ugly gold color on them, and I've never appreciated that. Like I saw there's a photo of like the Japanese box art for the Wind Waker, the 2000 the original Wind Waker. It's like this cute little art of like Link and all the characters just kind of like standing there and posing, and it's like it's so cute, and it's like if I saw that in a store I would have instantly bought that. It's like but like the Wind Waker, the English American Wind Waker box art is terrible. It's like this ugly gold color, and like it's kind of like a photo of Link on a ship on the King of Red Lions, and it's such an ugly image, and it sucks. And I just wish that phase was horrible in the 2000s, where like everything was dark and edgy and hardcore, but in like a cringe way, and like in a like stuff for boys, but like action and hardcore. When it's like sometimes I just want like a little adventure, you know, like a little cartoon adventure, and but I mean, whatever. Yeah, and the next game I want to get to is Majora's Mask. Majora's Mask was my favorite game for probably my whole life. I think one of my favorite Zelda games. Definitely, probably my favorite. I'd say still my favorite. I love Majora's Mask even before it was popular, because a lot of people forget like back then like it like really Ocarina of Time was like the greatest Zelda game on earth for like a lot of Zelda fans, and like everything else just got like ridiculed to death. And Majora's Mask and Wind Waker, like they're beloved now, but at the time like they were not very popular. They were constantly talked shit about. They were constantly hated, and I almost felt weird for liking them. I felt like such a contrarian, and I guess I was proven like right, because everyone loves the game now. Apparently now everyone loves Majora's Mask. Like my entire life, like everyone thought I was like lame for liking it, and now it's like the greatest Zelda game ever, and everyone loves it. And now I'm just kind of like bitter about that. Well, I'm kidding, but yeah, it's a very interesting game, and like takes a lot of inspiration from like Alice in Wonderland, of course, and Groundhog Day. So it's and Run Lola Run. I saw that movie. It was pretty cool. I wish they explained like the framing device of what was going on in that movie. Like, why did she have 3 tries? Like, was there a reason for that? Like, they never explained that in the movie, but oh well. Anyway, so yeah, like I like the story. I like that it starts. I wish you know what I kind of wish that. Well, no, it's okay. I was gonna say, like I wish the game had more backstory for Navi, like why she left. Because like we just see her kind of fly away at the end of Ocarina of Time, but like I don't think it really needed that. I don't think it needed the introduction at all. Like, the game could have just easily started with Link in the forest. Like I don't know what every Zelda game needs with like these like elaborate backstories. Like even the one from like Wind Waker or like Twilight Princess. Like we really don't need to hear this. Like we don't need an intro to this. It was very weird. Like even Wind Waker could start without that intro. We don't need that at all. The grandma already explains in the house that like what the custom is in the Hero of Legend, so we really didn't need. I like the artwork though, but like we really didn't need the intro at the beginning of Link goes to search for a beloved and valued friend. Like okay, but yeah, so it's a unique story. Like Skull Kid basically wants to like get revenge on all the normies for making fun of him, so the mask encourages his bad behavior, and he basically wants to bring the moon down and kill everyone, Life is Strange style, with the Storm, with Rachel Storm. And, you know, Life is Strange is basically just like the grown-up aggressive version of this game. Well, I wouldn't call it grown-up. I feel like both games are very mature, but I mean, like, one is like a kid's game and the other is like a game for like hipsters. So there's like an age difference, and like everything ends like with a neat bow and tie at the end of Majora's Mask. And it's interesting. Like Link's basically this foreigner that has to like take on the burdens of everyone in this town and save it from a moon. And he learns to make others happy, and he gains maturity through uh, through his experiences, and it's interesting. It really makes you question like what is a hero, what's revenge, what's anger, and it's a game about forgiveness and just forgiving for your friends and yeah, a lot of the point is about forgiving yourself and forgiving others and just kind of moving on and trying to move on with time. And I think the game does a good job with that. The people always complain, especially back then. People used to complain about the game's time system, and I had no problem with it. Maybe because I learned the inverted song of time, very quickly, and I did it by accident too, which is funny. But yeah, I never had a problem with it. I like the dungeons in Ocarina of Time better. These feel like Master Quest dungeons. They feel like, and like even the first dungeon in this game, it's much easier than the other dungeons, but it still feels more advanced than like something like the Great Deku Tree. So I like that the game knows it's a sequel and never pretends to be anything other than that. Like anytime anyone brings up anything from the first game, a character will like kind of lampshade it. Like Tata will say, "What, you don't know about the X?" She repeats that line way too much. Starts to feel like ChatGPT after a certain point. It's not X, it's Y. That's not a Keese, it's a bad bat. And what, you don't know about the Dodongo? It's like, okay, yeah, maybe I don't. Please explain it. Like, why are you giving me attitude? I never understood that. But like, yeah, so I do like the dungeons in Majora's Mask. I like there's always like one central area that has to be manipulated somehow, and I like how like certain items act as checkpoints, so you can like play the Song of Time and then come back and it'll make the temple much easier to traverse. So there's never like too much time lost in this game. You only really lose time if you're like really stupid or play the game like really poorly and don't know what you're doing. So like people always complain like, "Oh, I'm so bad at this game." Yeah, because maybe you suck. Maybe you're just not good at it. And people tend to hate this game because they're not good at it. And I really didn't like. I think it was the Angry Video Game Nerd or Nostalgia Critic, one of them. They played this game and like his review was just so unfair, such a bull, and like just totally unfair. And once again, that's someone who's just trying to be a contrarian, and I did not like that one bit. But anyway, other than that, yeah, the game was pretty awesome. It's a nice like. I like that they tried something completely different. They could have easily just did Ocarina of Time 2, which is what Tears of the Kingdom did. They literally just made Breath of the Wild again, which is so lazy and so lame. But like, no, they actually took their short deadline and they actually made a good game out of it. You know what's funny? Because they always say like, a rushed game is bad forever, but like, I don't think that's true. Majora's Mask was rushed and it's literally a masterpiece. Like Wind Waker was rushed and it's literally a masterpiece. Like the games that took time in the oven, like Skyward Sword and Tears of the Kingdom, like literally suck. The games that they took the longest on are the worst Zelda games ever. So I'm sorry to think maybe like they should be rushing. And I know so someone's gonna say like you corporate whatever. It's like obviously like make it humane. Like no one said you need to work like 90 hours in the office or whatever. I love if you just add that like that capitalist hell onto me just because I said I want a game that's made quicker. Like whatever. Anyway, yeah, Majora's Mask, great game about forgiveness, love, and friendship. Anjum Cafe Quest, great. And I played the Japanese version of this game too, so there's a lot of fun glitches in this game. And I can kind of see how someone could say that this game was incomplete. Like if you worked on the game and released it, I could see how the Japanese developers found the game a bit incomplete because like there are a lot of glitches in the Japanese version. There are a lot of things that just don't work right. So I could see how someone could be a bit insecure about the game that they made. But other than that, the game's perfect. I think the game was great. I like the reused assets. I like how each of the power-ups work. The game just makes a lot of use of it. It's a very good game for recycling different things. Next game I want to talk about is Wind Waker. Wind Waker is a very special game to me. I think that's the Zelda game that I had the most like intimate experience with because I got it for Christmas and it like meant the world to me. And I think that was the game that I really like deep dived in, explored every inch, explored every island, every second of that game. So I think Wind Waker is my most intimate Zelda, definitely the game that I think about the most when I think about Zelda. I love the art style. I totally missed the whole like Zelda controversy where people were mad about the art style and the cat-eyed Link. Like I totally missed all of that. and I just got the game when I got it, and I thought it was like the most beautiful thing I've like. The game still looks great to this day. The original version. I've never played Wind Waker HD. I think it might be good, but I don't know. Never played it. I was never gonna buy a Wii U, and honestly, like, I love the themes of this game. I love the story of this game. I love the improved gameplay. I love basically everything about Wind Waker, like from the story to the characters to like everything. The Great Sea was fun. I feel like sailing took way too long. There were times where I straight up would just drop the controller, go do something else, and come back. And it normally worked. There were a few times where I got hit by like one of those like shark things, and that was not fun. That would be really annoying. So like I'd rather have like either a super empty ocean that I can just sail across, or have the sea actually be more engaging. But oh well. So yeah, Wind Waker was like the lamest instrument in like the entire game. But it's fun. But I still enjoyed using it. And the worst part is like it's timed, so like I can't even just spam the C stick to like quickly play it. I have to like wait, and so it's not really that great of an instrument. Like what I'm conducting the wind, like that's it's pretty lame. Well, that'd be cool in real life, but I mean like for like an actual game, like not super interesting. But wow, what a power to have though. And you know, like it's, and I one thing I don't like about this game is that Link doesn't have like a companion, like that follows him around, like no fairy or whatever. That would have been much better, I think, for the adventure. Like oh, a talking boat's telling me to do this. Like why do we trust this person again? Why is any of this happening? Like I feel like there should have been more story or explanation or something, and. The King of Red Lions just hands you the Wind Waker once you arrive in Dragon Roost Island. Like the story kind of just starts rushing to get to the point, just starts rushing to get to the adventure. Like I think there should have been a little more of an A to B from beginning to like the first, you know. But whatever. I'm getting mad at like a 30-year-old game, but oh well. Yeah. The Rito are one of my favorite races in the game. Like a lot of people are like really stupid and seem to miss the actual in-game reference to the fact that they used to be Zora, and that the goddesses changed them obviously so they wouldn't find the sunken Hyrule underneath, and also because the sea is like literally physically cursed, and like fish can't even grow, fish can't even swim in it. So like clearly the Zora had to like change, and they do change, they do evolve, they literally get scales from the Great Valoo. So it wasn't even like a natural like biological evolution. It might have been like magical too, but like people seem to just miss that, and every review of this game I hear the same thing. Why did the fish turn into birds? And it's like, are you even paying attention to the game? Like I really feel like I'm the only person that's like reading the text on screen. Like sometimes people like will respond to like the dumbest thing about these games, and it's like, did you not read the in-game text? Did you not play the same game? Like what is wrong with you people? But anyway. So yeah, I like Windfall Island. The Killer Bees are great. A lot of the characters feel like remixes of Majora's Mask characters, and I find that interesting. Wind Waker, and the Nintendo Gallery was stupid. What a bad idea. They fixed a lot of that in Wind Waker HD. So like I feel like a lot of stuff that I'm complaining about now like got fixed. You know, so Wind Waker HD was probably one of the better remakes from everything that I've heard. Like the Majora's Mask remake was terrible, and the Twilight Princess HD was not even a different. It was a port. Like let's just be real. I love that final battle in Wind Waker. Like and I love like literally at the end Ganondorf's basically like, I was jealous of the winds that flowed on Hyrule. So basically Ganondorf was a communist. At the end he gives like a communist like retort. I was jealous of your wealth, and that's why I wanted to take over your land. Okay, is he gonna call Link and Zelda colonizers next? Oh man, that was funny. So yeah, we basically kill an impoverished minority, and then we're sent back to the surface where we go on to colonize a new land, and we'll call it, and we won't call it Hyrule, but they end up calling it New Hyrule anyway, because whoever created those games literally, once again, didn't read the actual text of the game. They just saw Link and Tetra discovering a new land. Well, We can't just call it anything we want. We have to just add Hyrule in there somewhere, and it's crazy. And they reestablished the monarchy. Like, did you miss Ganondorf's speech at the end? Did you miss Ganondorf's speech at the end of the game? Why did you like? Okay, there is a chancellor in Spirit Tracks, so like it's probably like a ceremonial monarchy. But like, why do you still have it? And why does a 100-year-old country have a monarchy anyway? There's so much about that game that doesn't make any sense. But anyway, whatever. Yeah, so yeah, Wind Waker, good. I like the art, and the game's just beautiful. And Link's sister and grandmother are a great addition to the game. This Link is much different, and that was the point. That was what I wanted to get at. That I really wanted to emphasize that these were different people, and that this was just a kid with courage that heeded the call and was able to do it. And what else? What other games are there? Twilight Princess. Twilight Princess was like my least favorite Zelda game for so long, for like years. I was not a fan at all. Like the grim dark edginess was just like, I was so over that by the time the game came out, and I just couldn't like. I played the game, like every NPC in the game just looked like so deformed and messed up. They looked like the characters from the background characters from the Powerpuff Girls, and like it was just very uncomfortable to watch, and like some weird Tim Burton film. And just like, I don't know, and Link in this game, I do like the Link in this game. He's definitely like just a Giga. He starts the game as like a Giga Chad and just ends as a Giga Chad. Like the wolf thing was just to be like, see, now you've been taken down a peg, but like it never comes off that way. Like the wolf thing just comes off as more and more badass, and also like a mini fetish thing, like for Midna. Like, but like other than that, like I just don't. And they clearly came up with the wolf idea first, and then they designed the gameplay around it, because the wolf gameplay is just awful. Why is there not a maul button? Like, why can't I not maul my enemies while they're on the ground? Why do I have to wait for them to get back up? Like, the only enemy, like, it's just, did they not think this through? And following Wolf Sense was fun, but like, you're just following a trail. Like, is Zelda about exploration? Why am I following a literal trail? And I hate the map in this game. Why is the map shaped like a small intestine? Like, seriously, Google it. Google the Hyrule map right now, or maybe I'll just put it on screen or whatever. But like, honestly, like the map from this game just looks like a literal human small intestine. Like I don't even understand what it's supposed to be. Like, what is this, a country? Like what is happening here? And Link is from Ordon. I guess they were going for the comics with like where he lived in like Catalacia or whatever the place was called. And I like that. I love the comics. So I can kind of see there was an element of that there, and it kind of implied that he married Malon, the hero of time, and that this is like his direct descendant. And it's just funny that this is the first Link that's basically like close to perfect. And this Zelda too, like these are like the most perfect versions of these characters, like the perfect Link, the perfect Zelda, and the game's not even about them. And it kind of makes sense. Like Midna feels like she's a part of another game entirely. Like it feels like a weird crossover game or something. Like Midna's character, like Midna and the Twilight people came from another world, like quite literally. So it feels like a crossover, like a characters from like another game series just come in, and she's like, oh, this is my game now. You're just the vehicle for it. Link and Zelda really just don't. They feel like add-ons to the story. They don't feel like it doesn't feel normal. It feels like they feel like abstract versions of what Link and Zelda would be like. If characters from another game just went into like a generic Zelda world, it would just be this type of Link and this type of Zelda. So I that's how I feel about like a lot of Twilight Princess, where like this is a game about someone else. This is a game about another character in this world, and that would have been interesting. Maybe to play as Midna or something. That would have been unique. See, that's why I think Zelda games should have had a different status quo, where we play as like, where it's like different people, whatever. Anyway, the gameplay was just like, there were items that were in the game just to be in the game. Like we start off with the slingshot, which was obviously just an excuse to teach us how to use like the Wii aim, but like it's replaced by the bow after the second dungeon. So the first item in the game is useless by the second dungeon. Who designed this? And it's so bloated. They're like 30 items. And like some of them just have like a one-time use. Like, do you know, I'm so disappointed with the ball and chain. Do you know how like useful that looks? And then you just can't do anything with it. And like the resistance is like the worst part of the game, where these are three characters that are fighting against something. They don't even make it clear what they're fighting against. The resistance against what? What happened? There was a coup attempt in Hyrule, and none of the citizens care. Like no one, even when Twilight Falls, like no one even gives a shit. Wolf Lake can like go through town and like no one. Well, the characters do cower and run away, but like that's the only fun part of the game. Running around scaring everybody in Hyrule Castle down. That's always enjoyable. And I like the Star game. That whole plotline was funny. I don't understand Telmo. Like, was she supposed to be was she like a coded fat black woman? Like, what was happening there? I don't understand, but I don't know. It made me feel things. And there's a quest to like retrieve Ilia's memory, and I don't understand what that was. I have no clue how an arrow causes amnesia, but like whatever. And then you get a horse call at the end of the game. Thanks. I could have used this like 10 dungeons ago, and now I have fast travel anyway. So like, thanks, I guess. What's up with this game giving you useless items? Like everything in this game just has like a sentimental value, and like that's it. No actual practical use. It's very funny, but this game has a very interesting take on like the races in the game, because like Zelda has different races. Obviously, they're mostly coded. They're like racially coded though. Like the Gorons are like racially coded as like African, and Zora are like Asian, and Hyrule, and of course white people are Hylian. But like, it's kind of subverted in Twilight Princess, where the Goron are now more like the Japanese coded ones. They're isolationists. They do sumo wrestling, and they're just very weary of outsiders. So and also the Zora are now definitely more like African coded in my opinion. Just saying, because I feel and like the Zora starts experiencing like actual discrimination, which is very interesting. Like you have to take like the Prince Ralts or whatever his name is to a doctor. The doctor's like, sorry, I don't work on Zora. Never mind. Wow, that sounds just like Jim Crow. Okay, I guess they were Americanizing Zelda, and I guess because there's like a weird Wild West theme going on in this game in like several areas. So it's kind of cool. At least like Zelda, like we reached the point where like Zelda was entering like the modern world. By the time we reached Twilight Princess, we're already in like the Old West, and like by the time we reach Spirit Tracks, we're already like talking about like rocket physics and stuff, and like a character I think references like a television. So like we're getting there, like we're getting to the modern world. So I guess they kind of had to just jump to Breath of the Wild, which is like after whatever all that is, and then like there was like another apocalypse, and then it's a story like that. So yeah, Twilight Princess. I know I'm hating on it now, but like the game really grew on me over the years, and I do love it. I do love it severely, and I gotta really get back to playing it again sometime. So I know I complained about it a lot just now, but I don't hate it. It's a fantastic game, and playing Twilight Princess playing Skyward Sword definitely made me appreciate how much better Twilight Princess is than Skyward Sword. Like Twilight Princess is very good game. I just wish they did more with it, especially with those like hidden skills. Those are the most enjoyable part of battle. And being able to also cut grass while I'm running was also something that I really appreciated on the Wii version. And I'm not sure which version is better. Like I played them both, and like they both have their flaws and weaknesses. But like running while swinging that sword is just so good. Like I feel like that almost like makes the Wii version better just by having that. But like everything else is better in the GameCube version though. And also, yeah, okay. That's just kind of just like retread like Wind Waker story. So it's like the perfect version of like, it has all like the superficial elements of a Zelda game, but nothing that makes it like that great. It's definitely it's kind of a basic story. Like, oh, light and dark, they have to depend on each other. Oh wow, and it's kind of a story. It's a story of like people that were punished from like like a Tower of Babel story. These people were punished for trying to reach God, and they were sent to the Twilight Realm. So like, wow, Isaac and Ishmael. Oh, the Hylians were were the favored ones, and Ishmael, the Twilight, were cast away or something like that. And it's a story like that. So whatever. Moving on. Also the kids that got kidnapped. Yeah, they basically just took the Wind Waker plot there, where they took Like instead of kidnapping Link's sister, they kidnap multiple children now, and it's like, oh, okay, so we're just doing this again, and it's done worse. So the Twilight Princess literally just thought more was better. Oh, and speaking of like biblical references, I didn't even bring up the Noah's Ark reference for the Wind Waker, but I feel like that's so obvious that like if no one put that together, like the Noah's Ark Atlantis story, like if you didn't really put that together already, I don't know what else to say. Yeah, so Skyward Sword, I could talk about that game. Like it's basically like once again they created another origin story. Like they tried with like A Link to the Past, then they did with Ocarina of Time. And then like people want to add Minish Cap to that, but like honestly, like who's talking about Minish Cap? I love that game. The gameplay was fun, the plot was fun, but like why do people are like so like obsessed with trying to put it at like the beginning of the timeline? And like just stop. It doesn't have to go there. Like yeah, it's an origin for like Link's hat or something, but like so. Does that even matter? Like same thing with Twilight Princess. Like why is his knight uniform green? Like wasn't the fact that Link's green come from the fact that he's a Kokiri? Like there's just so much that I just wish like they just left. Like you could have him wearing a different outfit. Like it's this obsession with the status quo in Zelda that I just keep hearing over and over again. It's like you don't have to just do it just because it was in other games. We're doing different things, and this game has Skyward Sword has like a Disney aesthetic. It really feels like I'm in like Peter Pan or something, or some Disney movie. So I like it. I love the art style of this game. I honestly like now, like years later, like it is already aged better than Twilight Princess, which is Twilight Princess has aged the worst out of any game I've seen in a long time because they're really going for the real brown, dark as edgy and thing, and it just doesn't work. So yeah, Skyward Sword looks much better. The art style looks much better. But like the game just like it still just sucks. Like I've only gotten through it once, and like it was great the first time. I loved it. But like I was trying to get through like hero mode the second time, and I just couldn't. Like there's so many interruptions, so much hand holding, so linear. Like the literally 3 dungeons where they just say your princess is in another castle. And like just who thought this was a good idea? Like nothing I thought was gonna happen happened. Nothing I thought, because this game had so much anticipation. I remember the build up. I remember everyone waiting for it, and it was just a gigantic disappointment. The motion controls sucked. The characters were all like hella lame, and well, the characters were fine, but I mean, like, it really did. Like the whole plot felt like a Disney film. Even at the end, where like that, like Link, Zelda, Groose, and the old lady, like it really felt like the climax of some Disney film. And I love how much Zelda could like genre bend. Like we've already gone through like Wind Waker, which was basically like a Miyazaki movie, like a Miyazaki film. It was basically like Future Boy Conan. Which Wind Waker is also based. Like watch like the first like 5 episodes of Future Boy Conan. Like it is almost like the word for word like exact plot of the Wind Waker. I think the whole show is kind of like the whole plot of the Wind Waker. Really watch it. Future Boy Conan is like a great like 1970s anime. Definitely watch it. It's one of Hayao Miyazaki's early works. Well, I think he worked on it. I don't know. I don't remember. I don't have. I'm doing this live. I don't have any notes in front of me or anything. I'm just speaking off the cuff. Yeah. So basically, like Skyward Sword was just like overall just not that great of a game. Like how many times did we fight the imprisoned? How many times did I have to fight Yurihim? Like how many times do I have to return to the same 3 locations over and over and over again? It really felt like the world just felt so not connected and just not in a fun way. Everything felt like a dungeon puzzle. Like I just felt like I was never out of a dungeon. Like, and that was not fun. The motion controls weren't fun. They blended too much of like the cartoony elements into it. It wasn't, all in all, just wasn't the best thing ever. It really felt like Twilight Princess Light, and that's not fun at all. Twilight Princess Light is yeah, it was Twilight Princess without a lot of the cool stuff. Like there were none of those hidden skills. I think the movements weren't as flexible. I don't know. There just was a lot that I didn't prefer, and the stamina gauge was in its early stages. They fixed this by Breath of the Wild, but in this game it's a lot more annoying when you just run out of stamina. Link stops just all momentum. He just loses all his energy, and it's just so not fun. It's just not fun to traverse in this game. It's not fun to do anything in this game. It's not fun to fly because you only fly from like it's like the Great Sea but worse. There's nothing in it and nothing to do. There's nothing to. The plot sucks. Although I'm the only person in the world that liked Fi though. She was very. I like that. Like first off, like someone like Link who's just totally sheltered and lives in like every Link has been super sheltered. Probably needs a guide like that. This world is dangerous as hell, and having someone that just has an encyclopedic knowledge of everything would have been very helpful for a Link doing this. Especially this was like Link's first adventure. There's like no precedence for any of this. This is Link's first life. And it's funny because Link and Zelda's first lives were just like meek high school students. It's very funny. Like I love the humble beginnings origin. This is basically like an ancient world. It's like an ancient Greece sort of, or like a pre-fallen world. Well, I guess the fall already happened in the pre-fight with Hylia and Demise. So I like that. Hylia is like a new god invented in this game. She's like a Jesus figure, like a slightly I wouldn't call her like a lower god, but I mean like she comes from the three golden goddesses, and she basically is like a Jesus figure of this world, and she stops like Demise, who's like the embodiment of Satan, and the spirit is what like possessed Ganondorf apparently, and or this hatred like revived in Ganondorf, which kind of cheapens Ganondorf. So what? He's just an incarnation of hatred. So like, what was all that talk about oppression in Wind Waker then? But whatever. And yeah. So this game, yeah, and I like the whole ancient technology vibe. Like we really get like that this is like long lost technology. So it explains why they're a lot more technically advanced than say like Ocarina of Time, which was very medieval. But this has like an ancient like thing, like a vibe going on there that I really like. That's definitely my favorite aesthetic. Like Skyloft is my favorite aesthetic for like a Zelda city or town or world. So I really enjoyed that, and I like the new stuff that was added to the lore of this game. So yeah, there's definitely this is the final game, and I think what I would call like the N64 lore era. This is the era of like the Gorons and the Zora, of the Hyrulean royal family. This is the lore. I think this is the most famous version of like the Zelda lore. It got remixed and changed, starting from Breath of the Wild. Now it's Breath of the Wild is like this totally different thing, and like we go into Zelda's past where she's like a bird now or something. Like the Tears of the Kingdom, like she's like part bird, and like it just I don't know what's going on in Tears of the Kingdom. I don't know what's going on with that whole era of Zelda, that I just don't care about the series like that as much as I used to anymore. It's just not really for me anymore, which is fine. I don't have a problem with that, but like I do just miss what it used to be. But Skyward Sword was a great ending. Like it was an origin for what happened. Ganondorf was in my head canon anyway. Like the Curse of Demise was lifted at the end of Wind Waker, and it was lifted again at the end of Twilight Princess, and it was lifted again at the end of what's it called? At the end of Zelda 1. And Zelda 2 is just the same Link, but like preventing his resurrection. And Spirit Tracks involves an entirely new, like another ancient enemy. But like these aren't reincarnations. I think like that's just literally Tetra's granddaughter, and that's just like literally some kid that looks like Link. And like I also think like it could have ended at the end of the Twilight Princess, and I think Four Swords Adventures at the end of that timeline too. So he could have died there. Who knows? Either way, I think Demise's curse is broken at the end of all those timelines. So I think it was better to just start again in like a new timeline altogether. I would just consider Breath of the Wild in its own unique space, and I think that's better. Honestly, starting the timeline afresh anew is much healthier for the series, and I much prefer that. So yeah, overall that's Zelda. That's yeah. Yeah, so I have way more to say about the series, and I'm not even done yet. But yeah, for now, I'm getting a bit tired, so I'll just leave you guys, and you feel free to disagree and just tell me how you feel about Zelda and the games in the comment section, and I will get back to you. Oh, and I also want to let you know that I don't hate any of these games. I know I complained about Skyward Sword just now, but like I don't even hate it. Like I have this beautiful memory of having like the nicest dream ever and involved Skyward Sword, and to this day like I still think about it fondly. So, yeah, I still remember the day I got it, and I remember the day I got every Zelda game and the day I played it, and these games mean so much to me that I just I don't know who I'd be if I hadn't played them, and I respect that so much. So overall, thank you for listening, and have a wonderful evening.